I've worked in the media for over 20 years. I graduated the college in 1999, which is quite a long time ago. But it's interesting listening to Devika talk about the friendship that you have with your mentors. My mentor was a former student at the college who I'm still very good friends with, who we catch up with years all the time. And he's the guy who gave me my first break on suburban newspapers. So that kind of relationship, has always maintained over the journey. So I've worked in media for 20 years. I currently work for The Age, along with Chris Hopkins and a few other guys who are all connected to the college in some sense. I'm also a freelance photographer, so I work for Victoria Police, not doing crime scenes as people sort of tend to think of straight away, more marketing and promotion stuff for them. And I also work for a few councils and a few other NGOs as well. So my role at the college is the first couple of units for the advanced diploma. So I teach basic camera craft, and there's nothing basic about it as such. It's more about understanding how to use the camera and how to strip it back to its kind of technical and creative components before we start getting into the real nitty gritty of it. So from my experience, when I get students come through, they're either more technical or more creative. So we kind of nurture both those streams within our teaching. So we try to give students a really good understanding of how to use the camera effectively. And like you said before, Daniel, about storytelling, it's kind of the essence of what we try to hone the technical elements into, so that students are really well traversed in the ways of telling stories and understanding the decisions they make with the camera in order to be effective storytellers. And the good thing about the way that we structure the course too is there's lots of practical aspects to it. So we are out with the cameras taking photographs, and last week we were out with the students doing panning. So we're all kind of under a bridge somewhere in South Melbourne, pestering trams as they went past and sort of learning those techniques of panning. So it's not just the classroom environment, it's actually going out and putting the rubber to the road, as it were, and putting a lot of these techniques into practice as well. Attachment to the industry from a lecturing perspective, I think, is really important, because when I first started working for newspapers, we shot something called film, which was something that was kind of challenging in its own right. But through that 20 years of working in the media, we've gone through the digital revolution, through to online, and these days I don't even go to the office of The Age. I just work from my car. I've got a laptop, a phone, and there's editors that I work with really closely that I haven't seen in 2 or 3 years, purely because we're out on the road doing it. So understanding what industry is all about and the movements within industry, I think, is really important from our perspective as teachers, to make sure that our students understand what's expected of them once they hit the industry and what industry standards are, and prepares them in the best possible way.